Welcome to the Weekly Trend Trader. What we're going to do today is we're going to look at how to make more than 10,000 on one trend following trade. Exciting how we can do this. This is not day trading. This is not intraday trading. This is how to make in one trend following position trade more than 10,000. Before we get into that, don't forget, if you haven't already, to subscribe. Those of you that have subscribed, thank you very much for your support. To like this particular video helps the YouTube algorithms, just help them other people to be able to find this amazing content, and share it with your friends, because you may have friends that want to trade from home as a part-time income. They may want to do this alongside the job that they're doing, and this information that I'm sharing with you works very well with that. Also, don't forget the notifications bell, because the notifications bell is the one that helps YouTube to alert you to the fact that we've uploaded the latest video. The information I'm sharing with you is time critical information. Right, so without further ado, let's see, how do you make in one trend following trade more than 10,000? Well, in front of us we have a Nasdaq, and the first thing we need to do is we need the setup. So we've got a 2-year chart here in front of us. Here's the 2-year chart. The next thing we need to see is that we have a rising 52-week moving average. As we can see here, from 2019 up to 2020, we can see that rising 52-week moving average. What do we need to see next? When we have that rising 52-week moving average, we need to get a buy signal. If it's very overbought, it's even more encouraging for us that the bounce back is going to be a big one, i.e. a multiple 1,000-point win. Well, look at this setup that we have here in March. There in March, we have the sell-off. We have an inverse head and shoulders on the RSI. That's our first indicator that this is going to turn. It's gone through the 52-week moving average, which means that just like a trampoline, with the tension as the market moves through that 52-week moving average, if you imagine the 52-week moving average like an elastic band or like a trampoline, if it goes quite far below that 52-week moving average, then we're going to get that spring back. And that's what we get. The first week in April, there's our line cross. We see the 2 and the 4-week moving average cross in that first week of April. We buy this one. We're long at 8,000, and the market moves from April. But to run this trade, what do I want you to do? Well, I want you to get used to doing nothing. In fact, I want you to get used to sitting on your hands. Yeah? Did you hear me right? Yes. I want you to sit on your hands from the time you take this trade in April. I want you to sit on your hands, because the trade, as you can see, runs from April, May, June. I still want you in June to be, that's right, sitting on your hands. July, August, and then in the first week in September, you see the lines cross there, and we get an opportunity to take our profits. Now, it sounds easy, but what you can see there, even though this market moved up week after week after week, we did have some red weeks. And it's those red weeks where you're going to have to learn to manage your emotions. Let's look at our first red week. In April, we've been in the trade for 3 weeks. We've got 3 weeks in a row winning trades. Then that first red week in April, market went up to 9,000, closed at 8.5. You're going to have to manage your emotions that week. Next red week is in May, where the market swung up and down, but closed lower than the previous week. Now, you may be tempted to sell, but you've got to manage your emotions as a trend follower. Then in the month of June, we had a week that went up over 10,000 to see the market close down at 9.5. But the lines, the 2 and the 4, have not crossed, which means stick with the trade. Manage your emotions. Sit on your hands. We continue on. We get all the way up to July, where we get not 1, but 2 weeks of selling. Now, many people will be really itching to sell at this point, but the lines have not yet crossed. This is the beauty of trend following. I want you to continue to sit on your hands. The market runs all the way up to a high of 12,000 in August. The market does like to reverse at round numbers, but it's not that week. It's the week after that the lines cross, and now we take our profits. How big was the win? Well, if you set things up with your broker at £5 per point, that's it. Just £5 per point. Just arrange things with your broker. £5 per point, $5 per point, €5 per point, whatever you're trading, you buy in that first week of April at 8,000. It moves to 9,000 or 1,000 points on side. It moves to 10,000 with 2,000 points on side. It moves to 11,000 with 3,000 points on side. Let's say we made 2,500 on this particular trade. 2,500 times 5 is 12,500. 12,500 pounds, dollars, or euros for sitting on your hands and riding the trend following trade. In fact, the trend is your friend until the bend at the end. We got that little bend in September, we took our profits, and you made over 12,500 on this particular trade by doing what? By sitting on your hands and following the trend. That is how you make large amounts of money in one trade. I hope this has been beneficial for you. If you have enjoyed this, there's more content like this coming. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, because there's much more content like this coming, helping you to understand how you can be at home and in one trade make 12,500 from one trade. Take care, and until next time, remember, we make money by sitting on